So here it is. It's time for the tournament of all tournaments to start taking place in the sport of boxing. All of these guys going at each other. We got Keith Thurman running his mouth, Errol Spence running his mouth, Terrence Crawford running his mouth. Everybody is starting to run their mouth, especially in the welterweight division. But at the end of the day, we're never going to be able to decide who is truly the top guy in all of boxing. And this is where they need to kind of get back to what happened with the Super Six. But they didn't do the Super Six the way that they needed to truly determine who was the top guy. So, in my opinion, I think that we truly do need like a battle royale. We need a real boxing tournament to decide who's better. And this is where I'm coming from, man. You build this tournament because the WBC has its champions. The WBA has its champions. The IBA has its champions. IBF has its champions. Everybody has their champion. So this is what they do. They to decide who's supposedly the top guy. They'll go based on revenue, TV ratings, and then they'll give you this trumped up BS about the guy's resume and formulate the pound for pound rankings. So now you're supposed to go based on what the pound for pound rankings is telling you. You're supposed to go off of that and say, oh, well, they rated him on the pound for pound list. He number 2, he number 3, oh, he number 1. Oh, so he is the number 1 guy in boxing because based on pound for pound, he on the pound for pound list. So it's still never going to satisfy you because at the end of the day, you got this guy who, like Errol Spence is saying, oh, he's on the wrong side of the street. So we understand what that means, those of us that understand boxing. And then Errol Spence recently gave you a breakdown of what that means. And he's telling you that this guy is being represented by this promoter who has taken his boxers and signed a contract underneath the conglomerate ESPN. And so they've signed this 5 to 7 year deal with ESPN to display boxers and fighters over there on that network. So Al Heyman has his guys underneath the Showtime PBC moniker. So these guys are going to be fighting over here. So when are they ever going to be able to fight each other? Because now you got to go through a whole nother list of parameters just to get these guys to come together on one network, or try to formulate something where all of the networks can get involved and make money, and everybody's going to want to make money. So now it's going to be too much confusion and too much red tape, and the fights are never going to happen. So this is what needs to happen, man. There needs to be, like for instance, what I'm saying, PlayStation and Xbox. Who is the top player in the world? I'll wait. So when you decide that this guy is the top guy on the Xbox and this guy is the top guy on the PlayStation ranked in the world, how do you determine who's better from those two guys? And the only solution would be to do cross-platform battles online. You have to be able to connect the two platforms online so that they can play each other online from their own platform. And once they get beat or they have a tournament or whatever the case may be, then you will be able to say, you know what? This guy is truly the best gamer in the world. He beat the best gamer from this platform out of all of these guys, hundreds of guys, thousands of guys over here. He is the top guy. He represents Xbox, okay? And he represents all of gaming because he just beat the best champion that's out there that's been holding it down for years. So this is the same argument within boxing. How do you determine? It needs to be a tournament of some sorts to get these guys collectively together, get your best, your top guys. Like right now in the welterweight division, especially underneath Al Heyman, you're going to have Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, Danny Garcia. These are the top names that's left in the welterweight division right now to represent the welterweight. They're representing the welterweight division outside of Terrence Crawford because nobody cares enough to look into the other top people. Because, for instance, who is the number 1 ranked boxer in the world? Not champion. Who's the number one ranked guy? Who's number two? Who's number three? Who's number five ranked in the world? Nobody cares because these guys are not carrying the belts. They're not representing the division, and nobody gets in the ring. These champions don't get in the ring with the number one ranked guy or the number two ranked guy. They get in the ring and try to fight another champion to determine that they're better. Like Floyd laced his record with all of these guys carrying belts, so he can say I beat 20 some odd champions. I got it. I'm not hating on Floyd Mayweather. I love Floyd. I like what he did with his career. But at the end of the day, this is what you're going to have to do to try to stand out in boxing. So if you don't have like some type of tournament, some battle royale where you can get these guys collectively together on both sides of the street and bring them into something that streamlines these guys, and you create a tree and you let them battle it out. And the two top guys that represent these divisions or whatever the case may be, these sanctioning bodies, you get your guys in, boom, and now you can truly say this is the true champion that represents over here. This is the true champion that represents over here, okay? They're in the ring now. This is it. And it can go the same way for each weight class. You get your top guy from bantamweight, featherweight, get your top guy from the welterweights, the middleweights, and so forth. You guys understand. If you know boxing, you guys understand. You get your light heavyweights, your heavyweights, and you have a battle royale of who's the best. But honestly, in all of boxing, it's only going to be determined by what they're trying to determine which guy makes for the better champion in all of the sport is based on numbers. It's going to be based on viewership and, of course, fanfare. So that's how it's going to go at the end of the day. But we need to see the tournament because all we're going to do, like Errol Spence is saying, it's all going to be smoke and mirrors at the end of the day. That's what it's going to be until we actually can prove who's the best. Okay? All of this jumping up in the weight class and jumping to this guy and that guy and calling this guy out. And like Sean Porter got on the podium the other night and was saying that, it wouldn't be his fault or Errol Spence's fault if they didn't get in the ring. Is basically there's other things going on. And what that means is that the WBC has already stated claim that they want him to be in representation of the WBC, and Al Heyman right now is representing him. So they want to keep their guy in-house and parade their champion around and force him to fight who they want him to fight. Give him a defense over here, make him, parade around the title for a little while, and then they'll put together their own big match with their own guys, like a Keith Thurman or whoever else is available that they want to match him up with, and that's going to be that. They don't want to bring in these other sanctioning bodies and all of these outside entities to come in and try to make money off of their champion. Right now, Al Heyman has the most, I would say, the more popular fighters in all of boxing right now. He has the more popular fighters. And that's not to say that Lomachenko is not popular. He's very popular. People want to see him. I want to see him. I'm entertained by him. I like Terrence Crawford. But it's not too many guys that are fighting underneath top rank that I really want to see. It's just not. So at the end of the day, what do you guys think? What do you guys really want to see? We need to start pushing this agenda to happen. We need to start formulating videos and coming up with ideas for these guys to do this. I know that they've thought about it before. There's no way that we're sitting out here as fans coming up with these ideas and these guys haven't thought about it before. They don't care about that. The only thing they care about is the money. I got it. It's a business. Everybody needs to make money. Everybody wants to eat. Everybody wants to stack their bank accounts. But we keep hearing how these guys are clamoring to be the best, and they want to be remembered in the sport. They want to go down as the greats. If that's the case, then you need to get in the ring with the best. And the only way that most of that is going to happen is if they formulate a tournament of some sorts so that these guys get in the ring and face each other. That's just my opinion. Anyway, hit me up. Let me know what you guys think, man. Comment, subscribe. Do what you got to do. I love y'all, man. I'm out. I was just thinking about that, and I had to throw it down on the video. Peace.